Hello, hey Hexine, how you doing? Hi, glad you could make it. First stream back from TwitchCon. It's a beautiful Thursday. I got back Tuesday night. Pretty tired Tuesday. Yesterday I was pretty tired, but did a lot. I had a lot of unpacking to do. But I do want to stream, and today, as soon as I can, this is the kitty cam today, to some extent. Hold on. I've been asked for more kitty content, and today he seems like he wants to provide some kind of content. It may not be very friendly. Look at that boy beastie, though. Look at the kitty cat of nature. He was very happy to see me. I left him for a week, and I have an automatic feeder. I didn't leave him without food. I left him for with a clean place, to a lot of water, and an automatic feeder that feeds him dry food twice a day. Now he's used to getting dry food and the wet food, so he's not really super happy about that one. But he definitely survived it. He wasn't even particularly hungry when I got home. He ate all his food, but I think I had. You can control the portion size as a dry feeder, but he had food for weeks. And yeah, no, he was just real happy to see me. He's a very affectionate boy beastie. So yeah, today I'm gonna try to start at the beginning. I'm gonna tell stories about my week in Las Vegas, Nevada, which I've been planning for the whole year, attending TwitchCon, seeing my favorite streamers from South Africa, Siobhan and Megan, and okay, cat's gone. Meow. You can hear him though. I don't know what's wrong with that cat. He likes to meow. So spent a week in Vegas. It went great. I had the greatest time. I had some moderately wild stories. Nothing too major. Few things we'll go into when the time comes. But as I say, in any case, feel free to ask questions or stop me if something is confusing or not. But there's still some interesting stuff going on. It looks like I'm going to be guest streaming on somebody's stream tomorrow. We'll get into that later. Due to events that occurred on Sunday. So I arrived Tuesday, left Tuesday morning. I arrived after a long drive through California, the whole state of California, and then you got to go south and then northeast to swing around to get into Nevada, and then it's another hour in Nevada to get to Las Vegas. But my car is good. It goes fast. It's very comfortable. Seems very safe, and I made good time. I made good time. No, I did get stuck because I was trusting the navigation system that's built into the car, not Google Maps, and I shouldn't have done that. But the advantage of my navigation system in my car is it's connected to my HUD, so I can see I can see all the instructions right on my head-up display. But the disadvantage is it's not very good. It takes you on some terrible routes. So the route I went was like a half an hour longer because it kind of went over surface streets through Bakersfield that were kind of closed. And the route coming back did not go on those streets. It was much faster because I took Google Maps coming back. And at one point I was driving along, and I've never had this problem. At one point, my navigation system, it was like 3 or 4 hours in, just lost the trail. Didn't know where I was. I thought I was I was driving on a highway, major highway, nothing, straight, nothing happened. And bing, I hear this bing. Suddenly, it thought I was off on side streets somewhere. So I'm not sure where it got lost because it was. There was clear skies everywhere. Okay, so I got in to this place. I rented an Airbnb in Las Vegas. It's, a little ways out, but I had directions to the place. I had the address. Yeah, it's an electronic lock to get in. It's a little 4-bedroom house. Not in a terrible neighborhood, not in a great neighborhood, kind of in a medium neighborhood, which I liked because there just wasn't a lot of activity right around there. But you could drive a short ways, and there was all these shopping centers and lots of traffic and things like that. And boy, the traffic in Las Vegas is bad because of you'll hear this over and again. They're closing most of the streets to this F1 thing. You think it'd be just down where they're doing it, but it's like all over Vegas. It's crazy. So Thursday, I basically got in, started unpacking, took my guitar out, checked the house out, checked the pool out. Very warm. Beautiful little pool area, just like the pictures. Perfect size house. Figure out which bedroom I wanted. One of the bedroom was like a master. It had its own bathroom, so I used that one. Because it was just me. And then, Wednesday I just settled in. I don't think I did too much. Except that, I think that Wednesday is the day that Meg and Mord came over and streamed from the pool there. So that day, I think I went, picked them up, and brought them back over to the pool to see the place because I really wanted them to see it and hang out for a while. And they actually streamed for quite a while in the pool with me around. We played Jenga. I think Wednesday is the day we played Jenga. That was a great experience because I got to kind of be behind the scenes and see Meg and Mort do their stream together, and how they are on stream and how they interact with each other and kind of take over the conversation and respond to each other's stories. And it's more interesting how they do that, I think, than how smoothly they do that. Um, so I just wanted to thank them again. That was really nice and generous of them their time, and they were happy with it because that's when I gave Mort her the Switch that I had brought that I had been using I had bought a Switch a long time ago and I wasn't using it, so I gave it to her, and I found out she was able to get it back safe and sound to South Africa. So that's good. So that was Wednesday. Thursday, but I took them back Wednesday to their hotel. I kind of checked it out. Thursday. Oh, and what was that the day before? Before that, we went to Chinatown. We did go shopping. I think I picked up them fairly early on Wednesday, and that's when we went and kind of did. We had sushi for kind of lunch, and then which was good, and then then we went to Chinatown and walked around because they wanted to see all the shops and stuff at Chinatown, do some cheap shopping, which they did. They were just kind of looking at prices, and then they went back the other day. Thursday was. But they were doing things at night. They were doing nightclub stuff where you had to get in the nightclub at 10 p.m. and the show didn't start till 1 a.m. right, and then it was done at 3 a.m. So that's not for me, the nightclub and scene. But I could have gone with two pretty girls if I wanted to go to the nightclubs, But no, I was fine, kind of conserving my energy in that way and just having a normal sleep schedule. It was very comfortable to sleep there too, and I was, whenever I felt like I could watch TV or I could take a dip in the pool, it was a real vacation time for a couple of days there. So Thursday was the day for getting our badge, and we all wanted to go in advance and get our badges, and right, that was the day we went first to I think to Chinatown, and then we went Then we went back to the house and hung out there for a while, and that's the day they streamed in the living room for about an hour. And I changed into a suit. I wore a suit, a full suit and tie with French cuffs, and it's all matching. And for some reason, to the TwitchCon badge pickup. Okay, which I was happy with because most people are real casual. You stand out a little bit when you're wearing a suit. People think you're a big deal. I spent almost $150 on that suit too. So it was, and the tie and the shirt. It was really expensive. Years ago. I mean, in other words, they're very inexpensive suits that look really expensive, and that's really what I like about certain articles of clothing. They just, for a guy, like a suit, like the cheapest suit looks really expensive if you accessorize it a little bit and no one else is wearing a suit. Even in Las Vegas, I wish I wore it. I only wore a suit that one day. I wish I wore it every day. And I had 3 suits with me. Because you didn't see that many people walking around and in a suit. And I just think it's fun to on vacation to dress up like that. But obviously I'm the weirdo because no one else in Las Vegas did. I mean, it was hot in Las Vegas. It was 90 degrees at 4 p.m. and then it only cooled down to the 80s at night. For the first several days, especially. I mean, the final day we were there, it was definitely much cooler. And that's what they predicted. But it was definitely hot. In a suit would have been hot. Most people walking around in t-shirts and sweats, and the girls were wearing very skimpy outfits, which was nice, and being perfectly warm. We saw a lot of, showgirls with their tits out and stuff like that. It was great. So I picked up my badge on Thursday. Yeah, it was all fine. And then Siobhan is a partner, so she wanted to go to the store. They get a preview. They get to go in early and go to the Loot Cave, which is the store, and pick out what they want because a lot of the kind of weird stuff sells out. There's very limited quantities, and they want the partners. By the way, yeah, here I'm wearing my ginger pin, my gingerbread beauty pin. I don't know if she's ever going to see this, but thank you, Ginger. She's a streamer that I met there on Sunday. I didn't go to the convention until Sunday, so we're still on Friday. Okay, well, we're still Thursday technically. I'm trying to think of the any stories about it. Oh, right, pick up the badge. She went in. Me and Meg were waiting outside. Met BB Jess. She's a streamer. Thank you, Skull. We had a good time. Oh, Morgan and Meg are fantastic people. They're just like They're just. I was amazed when I was watching the stream because I'm like, I'm so used to watching them stream, and they were in the pool, and I was like, this is like a three-dimensional, very high-resolution version of one of their streams, because I wasn't watching it on a screen. I was actually watching it unfold with my actual eyes. It was a really kind of trippy experience, I gotta say. But for streamers that you watch a lot, but of course they were very generous with their time. I'm so happy I got to hang out with them, not just meet them and hang out with them. I hung out a little bit more last year, but not that much for various reasons. And this year we hung out a lot more. We did a lot more stuff, which I'll get to. So so we got our badges on Thursday. We're waiting outside. I saw Ms. Kiff and Emery Rue walked by me. A bunch of other reasonably famous streamers. He's probably the most famous ones. Um, and there were a lot of partners around. And then we all met up and we were just like it's all cool. We're right there. You're right there at Convention Center. That's this huge spheres there. It's really everything seems really close together and just gigantic. These hotels are so massively humongoid. Um, and then I think we didn't. I don't remember what we did if we did anything Friday night. So that's what I'm already starting to kind of zone out a little bit. Now Saturday I had started. Okay, Friday night. My friend Charles, who's a member of Bella's community and many other of the e-girls that we watch communities, Kichike and many others. Um, I had offered him to let him stay in the house. His 4 bedroom, it was just me. So he came over Friday, and so he brought his stuff in, and he got settled in, and we had a good time kind of hanging out a little bit. And I had said on Saturday that Bella can have her kind of mod party because she's been, talking about for years how she's going to be available for her mods, which include Charles and me and a fellow we named Captain and we like to call Captain and True Love and her husband Taz. So, who are also amazing people. And then I invited Meg and Mort to also come. And originally I was like, oh, we should do it in the afternoon. But I kind of figured, or like 1 p.m. But nobody came until like 5 or something like that. And Bella didn't come till 6:30. But hey, there was no, we weren't really doing anything till much later in the evening. That's actually not that late anyway. And so I'm kind of glad I called it earlier. She wouldn't, she might not have showed up till midnight. But we had a good time at this party. Now, oh yeah, and Grim, I forgot to mention Grim, who's a member of Bella's thing, who's been talking about bringing alcohol, how many bottles of this and that he's going to bring. And he brought thousands of dollars worth of booze to this party. I mean, way more than 8 or 9 people could drink without dying, maybe 10 times, including all these fancy ass champagnes. Okay, let me see if I can bring up a picture here. Hold on just a second here. What do you need? Yeah, I got a picture right here. First, I got some pictures to show. Hold on. Okay. So for some reason, my camera gave Mord these kind of reverse raccoon eyes, and she did not have these in person. This is an old camera. It's an old Nikon. I mean, it's not a bad camera. You can see it's sharp, but it had this weird issue. I looked repeatedly if I could see anything like this on her face, and we couldn't. But it's quite obvious. So that's Mord. Let's see, what do we got here? That's Megan, lovely Meg, in the house background. Kind of had a central, open floor plan with a kitchen and a nice kind of table there. So you see, not huge, but plenty of space for people. Megan Moore, this is the table there. And so this is Charles in the back here. That's Meg. This is Moore. This was the day later, right? And I think that's Grip. He had brought these 5 bottles of very fancy champagne, all of which like Dom Perignon, vintage 2013, 10-year-old, and this stuff, which is crazy. You never see this. A giant Veuve Clicquot, fantastic. This is a Cristal, and I don't remember what this is. Hey there. So I'm going over yeah, you were there. You're right there. You're right there. So I'm kind of going over what happened, the disaster that happened. So he had brought these over, and then he brought these over at like 1 p.m. or earlier, like about 11 a.m. and just dropped all this stuff off. And they said, "Oh, I'm keeping my Uber, and I'm going to go down." And he was staying in a hotel. I'm going to go down and hang out on the strip, and I'll be back later. I don't know. He ended up coming back quite late. So I just put it in the refrigerator, and then it's to cool down because none of it was cold. And then I started looking up the prices, and these are like $300, $400, $500 bottles each. And there's also a bunch that you don't see here, all these fancy scotches that have, and those are also $300 or $400, $500 bottle each. Now, the thing is, True Love, who you don't see in this picture, although I think she's in one of these pictures. You'll see her later. She is a professional, works in the beverage industry, the adult beverage industry. So she was aware kind of all this stuff. And what happened was we ended up tasting them in a certain order. And I think we opened this one at last up, and the fanciest one had gone bad. They were all so great. True Love was awesome. They're also great. And then and this was the one, like everyone was like, she's like, oh, everyone gets to open one. So I got to open this one because for some reason. And he was like, Grim was like, oh, I'm a little worried about this one. I don't know if it's been stored correctly. You can kind of see, what is it called? It's called Louis the 15th, 1998. So this would have been a 25-year-old champagne. And boy, I opened it up and looked and smelled the cork, and I was like, oh, that smells like fart. I don't think it's supposed to do that. And no. But you can see here we had this Dom 2013. It was all so this ended up having this ended up having to go down the drain. It was so nasty. It smelled so bad we couldn't even leave it open. This stuff was all amazing. Everything was fine. This was fantastic. This was incredible. This was amazing, and I think this was really, really good. And then we had some cigars too, and then we had this bourbon. These things are here. This is Scotch. This 29-year-old. These are all Scotches back here. This is. We had way too much thing, but I had to dump. We all tried these, but I had to dump like half of this champagne down. I mean, I didn't want to drink it. It wasn't going to. It doesn't stay. We opened up all the champagne, and a small amount of it got drunk. But I guess that's part of the Vegas experience of excess. This is me wearing my Twitch tie-dye shirt, and that's the back of Bella right there. So I'm looking pretty happy. So I kind of like that shot. Okay, hold on. I gotta turn this. There's Captain and more. Okay, that's True Love right there. There's Meg, and we're starting to get pretty happy. I think there's me. That I'm drinking Scotch. We also had four. Yeah, that bottle does like that. Fatal. Were you here a second ago? This is the one I'm saying on the right. That we opened it up. I popped the cork on it. I sniffed it. And I was like, oh, that's not right. Because it should smell good. And it smelled terrible. And I took a sniff in the bottle. And the bottle smelled terrible. We tried drinking it. Yeah, with the purple hair. He knows. We tried drinking a little bit. And it wasn't awful. But it wasn't good. I mean, these were all amazing. These were all perfect. The problem with this bottle is it's hard to store it horizontally. Which you have to do because it has a wide base. And it doesn't fit in any of the places you normally store a bottle horizontally, so it was stored vertically and it went bad. That's what happened to that. End of story. It's 30 years old. So it's Captain. There's more. There's True. Right. There's me. I look like that politician dude. Sadly, in that picture. Okay. Here's me and that's me and gorgeous Bella. I love how we have the wine bottles and I'm drinking Scotch there. Yeah, it was a gift. It was a gift. I mean, the guy said he was a little concerned that it might not be good. So this was actually Monday. So before we get to this, I kind of have to stop and discuss what happened on Sunday, because that was Saturday. Saturday was the party at the house. Bella came. I sang karaoke with Meg. True sang. I think Siobhan sang a couple of songs in the karaoke with the karaoke. We got use out of that, which is great because I bought that. I was like, I hope we get to use that. Hey, Bella. Well, they are perfect, and there's a reason for that. But anyway, she's a perfect person. She's a lovely person, but she's pretty amazing in person too. She's just like wow, as all you girls are, as all you lovely girls are. So and what a treat to be around you. I gotta say. So the Saturday party was really fun. I mean, I didn't get too drunk. Then we ended up sitting up. There's a pool area in the back. We went to the back to smoke cigars. Those because she had those 2 cigars. I think 2. Hopefully, Mord still has. But we opened up 2 of them, and I cut little holes in the back of them with a pair of scissors, and tried to here's how to do it. And then I also had brought these pre-rolled marijuana joints, so I had those sitting out there, and I didn't like force it on, but apparently Captain, who's only 23, was like, I've never really had marijuana before. So, and I'm like, this stuff is pretty mild. It's not going to mess you up too badly, because it was pretty mild. But of course, if you've never done it before, it's gonna hit you. I'm a experienced marijuana pilot, as we like to call them. Yeah, she's gonna smoke both of them. We only made it through about a third of them, but that's a lot of cigar smoking. You know what I mean? If you're gonna smoke a cigar, and Bella was into it as well, so she had a good time. Um, so Captain had a little bit of the pre-roll joint I had, and he was like, I think he got high, and the cigars are strong. These were strong too. So we were doing some smoking, we were doing some drinking, and Grim apparently doesn't drink. Actually, the guy who brought all the alcohol. I'm not 100% sure what his story is. He might be here. You might want to say hi to him. I think he's okay. I know he's alive, but he passed out. Um, just as we were kind of heading out to the backyard to smoke cigars. He didn't make it out. He ended up on the couch. He passed out. We checked in, or he was in the bathroom for a while, actually, now that I remember correctly, with it closed. And we were like, people should make sure that he's responding from the bathroom. But he was okay. He eventually left the bathroom, which is nice. And then he went on the couch and he slept. He was napped, and we made sure he was breathing and not in any kind of distress. But he did miss some of the party because he didn't wake up till the next day. He wasn't moving till the next day. But I think it was because, as I said, he really doesn't drink very much. And then he brought all this booze, and we were like, he wanted to try it all with us. And we had like 5 bottles of scotch there, plus a bottle of bourbon, plus a bottle of rum, plus 5 bottles of champagne. You got to, it seems like excess, but as I say, that's what Las Vegas is about. It's about excess. So if you're not, if you're feeling okay the next day, you're doing well. And even he was feeling okay the next day after sleeping off, and I felt fine because I actually was drinking some water, and I was just drinking the small, just a taste of the champagne and a small hint of the scotch. Or maybe I got lucky, but I felt fine the next day, which was good because Sunday was my big day at the convention. I didn't want to be impaired for that. That was the only day I went to the convention. That was a big day at the convention, as I say. But yeah, I got to give, yeah. Well, as I say, yeah, I keep more drink as another table. No, more does not drink. And even Megan, I don't think she really wanted to drink the scotch. I ended up making her. I had brought gin with me, and she liked the gin and orange juice that I was making for her. So I made a few for her. So she was definitely, she was okay. She was kind of. I think she wanted to stay mainly sober, but she had two of those pretty strong gin and juice things that I made for her. Um, so she was fine. She seemed. Everyone seemed like they were having a great time. And everybody fell in love with Megan and Mord, who just met them. Mord does not drink. She does not do mind altering substances. It's a long story, but you'd have to drink her. But trust me, she knows how to have a very good time, and she's very fun to be around. And I wouldn't want her any other way. You know what I mean? And trust me, it was really fun just kind of walking around the vibe of these two gorgeous girls in these kind of light, skin bearing outfits for the evening, and just all the little glances and things like that. It's so fun. I had such a good time. So anyway, Sunday morning, I wanted to basically say, look, I'm getting up early. The convention starts at 10. I hadn't been to the convention. Everybody's talking about it. You have, exactly. I think you're proof that you don't need to be drunk to have a good time, as long as you're willing to put yourself out there and try everything and be friendly to people and meet people. And, the only issue is if they're drunk and you're not. You know what I mean? It's sometimes a little bit of a mismatch there, but at least you're the one who's in their faculties, so I respect it. As I say, I don't think you could have had a better time, and it wasn't the time for you to say, oh fuck it, I'll just drink my ass off every night, I'm in Vegas. It was the time for you just to be yourself. As I say, Megan likes to drink a little bit, but she doesn't go wild either, so at least I didn't see her in my time. But we had such a great time. So I got fairly early. I got parked. I took Charles with me, I think, but he wanted to go just down to the strip, so I just took him there. And then I went to the convention, found some parking, and the convention opened at 10, and I was there like at 10 to 10 or something. So there was a big lineup, which then they started moving. But I was in there pretty early. Let's see. Because the convention goes 10 to 6 on Sunday, and then that's it. There's no more convention. So I did want to see all the stuff, the floor. I wanted to see who was around for meet and greets. I had a meet and greet scheduled that day with the Nicole T. Nicole, who's a streamer who I do follow a lot, and I've had a good time with. We'll talk about that more later. Um, and well, actually, before I do, I just want to finish off some of these pictures. Hold on. There's that one. Okay, so we went to the hat store. This was in the Venetian. We were walking. We were walking. We had gone. This is on Monday. So this is when we did most of the touristy stuff. Uh, Siobhan and Meg went back down to Chinatown to buy stuff, and and kind of pick up some souvenirs to take home with them that they'd seen before. And then after they went to the sweet spot, I was watching a stream. I said, "Well, I'll come pick you up." That was like 2, and we had already made plans on Monday to do the following things. We went a 4:30 show at the Sphere. That's the inside show where you go inside and then you see the movie. Um, and and that later that evening, anytime after 7, we'd go to the High Roller, which is this huge Ferris wheel. That's this gigantic wheel that they have there. It is humongous and it's really cool. And it's right next to the Strip. It's pretty new. And it's just things that we wanted, the touristy things we wanted to do. We figured Monday's the day, and it was. There was definitely less lines, and we didn't have to wait too long to do anything. And but there was plenty of people on Monday. There's a lot of people that think the same thing. Monday's the day to do all this stuff because there won't be any tourists around. But no, Monday's not. Anyway, so between the the show, we went to this awesome um, uh, hat store. Oh, hold on. Oops. Let's see if I get this right. Trying on hats. And okay, so these pictures are actually, it's going backwards. These pictures are from the going in from inside the High Roller. So we were inside one of these things, but we're in the one higher up than that. And my camera without the flash really is taking very long exposures, so that's why everything is a little blurry. It's just the flash isn't going to light up anything, so this is probably the best one, and it's definitely kind of blurry, but at least wait, actually no, there's another one that didn't turn out. No, didn't turn out. That's with the flash, but then you see the background doesn't turn out, so that's your choices there. But that is kind of a pretty photo. I mean, at least their face, cute. And then I tried to take, you're right next to the, this is where we were. There's the interior of this is a big theater, a gigantic theater with a humongous screen that covers all your field of vision and is a pretty incredible experience just from a visual point of view. Just couldn't believe it, how nice that was. And the movie inside, which was directed by Darren Aronofsky, it's kind of silly, has this silly, stupid eco science fiction theme. See, that one's kind of that. The more you think about it, the less that movie made any kind of sense at all. Sadly, but the visuals were incredible, and that's what it was about. It was just about the experience and the sensual experience. But they had kind of wrapped it in this science fiction movie plot, which was not well thought out or considered. And the Sphere, it's amazing. Now that I've seen it, I get it, but until you see it in person, the scale of it and how dynamic it is, how smooth and dynamic it is like how many frames per second. You can't tell. It's just like smooth dynamic motion all over it. So it's not just the fact that it's lit. It's that they can just put anything on it so smoothly. They can wrap anything about it, and you don't get the feeling that you're seeing some kind of projection from any distance at all. It just looks like, it's hard to describe, actually, and it's gigantic. So this is the Bellagio here, and this is the Caesars, but they're flursy. And this is the Mirage with the Beatles' love on it. This is from the tower. Okay, the trunk. There's the Venetian and the Trump there. The Venetian was just incredible. And this was looking down to the southwest. So this is the Bellagio here. And then just kind of the scale of the thing. You can kind of see this is the pyramid went on here, and the MGM, and New York, and the Horseshoe, and Bellagio is huge, and the Caesars, and this is the Flamingo, and the Link, and the Link is on the other side. But still, these are all enormous hotels. So yeah, from the very top of this High Roller thing, you really get an idea of the scale of the place, which is just hard to believe tremendous. So, and this was nice. These were very comfortable. We weren't jammed in or anything. We were with some loud Spanish speaking people, but it was fine. There's Harris down there, and yeah, I'm glad we did that and didn't take the helicopter flight. I think the helicopter flight would have been similar, but not as just more annoying. There's the you can see that Caesars. There's the thing there, Coliseum. Okay, so then after that we decided. Okay, we had dinner and we had a nice dinner. I liked it. I had a filet mignon. That was Monday night was really the only night I thought that I was gonna uh, have a nice dinner, but we didn't have reservations and we didn't want to spend a ton of money. But so we found a perfect place. It was called Off the Strip to me, which was right next to the hotels and the promenade there. And they had like all sorts of like, steakhouse kind of stuff and, chicken wings and Megan had the pork chops. They were pretty good. I had a filet and filet mignon, the small size with vegetables. It was really good. It was really good. I mean, it was, and I ordered that was the only time in Vegas I had a fancy drink, but at least, hey, in Vegas, I had a fancy drink. I had an Ocean Breeze, like one of these $20 tropical trees, and they had put a lot of rum in there. It was, you could tell they're expensive, but yeah. I had some of the wings too. They were good. And that meat I had, it was actually quite good. You had some of it. It wasn't bad at all. And you got to realize this is not the high-end steakhouses. This is just a normal Las Vegas restaurant. We would have paid a lot more. We could have got into a high-end steakhouse, but it would have taken a lot longer to get in, and we would have got a lot more. So then we went to this. We're like, well, one of the things that we checked off was this interior, this weird kind of garden. I don't know what you call it, but it's sort of like a display in a large interior room of all this seasonal something or other. Like here you can see just part. I don't have a great view of it. It's all elaborate. Yeah, no, I should come to you, but it's all elaborate. But I still have some things I want to see in Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Which is closer. A little closer. Um, all these elaborate displays and holiday theme, which would be October, so it's Halloween and pumpkin theme, but it changes several times a year, and it has like these. It's kind of like an interior garden. So I took the pictures. These are going backwards. That's a cute picture. We got some cute pictures coming up. This is one's cute. We like that. That's very cute. It's just this little room there. And this is the one I like the most. Okay, that one works for me. I gotta say that yeah. Okay, and then this is looking kind of like the other direction, and it's not huge, but it kind of fools the eye in that there's all these twists and turns and things to see, and little water features. There's a little koi pond, and there's little fairy wings. She's standing in front of to give her there's just there, and you take the picture. See, it looks like she's got fairy wings. Isn't that cool? Kinda. I think so. Whee! But I don't know if my camera really does it justice. You can see the red eye there. I had a feeling it wasn't going to. And she's not even lined up. I didn't line her up correctly for that one because you're supposed to be right in front. That's the B for Bellagio, and there's these beautiful gossamer wings. And this was the free chain we got. We were walking in front of the Chippendales, and there's two Chippendales guys, and they're like, they really liked Mord and Meg because they're hot, So they're like all over them. They're like, oh, you got to come to, and they made them take all these pictures and stuff like that, which you can buy, but you don't have to. So I thought it'd be fun, which I didn't take. Obviously they don't want you taking your own pictures because they're selling you pictures. One thing we all learned as a group together, it was how many ways. I'd already warned them that Las Vegas was all about removing the tourist dollars from their wallets before they returned home with those dollars in their wallets. So how it's really on display how many different ways they do it. And one of the ways is they just drag you and they just say you look, they take a picture and they say, look how great this picture is. You want to buy it? And in some cases it worked. Like I bought the they did this for the high roller, but it was really elaborate. Like for the high roller, which is the Ferris wheel thing, you get in and then they have you take these pictures in front. They have these stands and they take pictures of you and they have you do these various poses. And then while you're on the roller, they compose these pictures and they did a good job. So I ended up buying all those, and I'll show those to you in a second. But then in Chippendales, they were kind of doing the same thing, like even if you don't go to the show, and they were doing. But I think it was worth it because I was like, no, we're not buying these pictures. But they had a good time, They had a good time. Then it was a very Las Vegas thing to do. See, this is all before. So where are the pictures? Okay, I'm gonna show Hold on one second. Let me find out where I have on Discord. I think I know the best place to show some of these. Yeah, hold on a second. So I mentioned we did these. These are the pictures we got back from the high roller. So we took these pictures and they, in front of a green screen. So that was the first one. Notice that I have the same expression on all of them. This one is where they say, "Oh, look to your left, and there's something exciting happening." Okay, and there's then they show these aliens coming in, right? And then, and I have the same expression each, but this is kind of this is what it would have looked like if I take a picture inside the cabin and there'd been fireworks. This looks like just when you're about to get on. It has the door open, and I don't know, what that's supposed to be, but we're just green screened in front of a Las Vegas thing. I was like, come on, you got to get these. So I got to tell the story to explain the expression on my face and what is going on there. So on Sunday, back to Sunday, we're going back from Monday to Sunday because this is a very, very coherent storytelling session here. I got there around 10. Mort and Meg got there and started streaming, actually, I think around like 12:30 or something. So I was just wandering around doing stuff. I don't think I ate. No, they got there, but as soon as they were on, I met them and we started hanging out. By the way, before I met Mort and Meg, I went and met my friend Gingerbread Beauty, who gave me this thing, or not a friend, and a streamer that I also follow and part of a community. And I saw that she was live and that she was in the Loot Cave, and she does Marvel streams. I've been following her and part of her community for a long time. So she was so nice. She made me sign her shirt, and she was really nice. She was really happy to be tracked down by a fan too. She was, she was really tickled. So that was a nice thing. But that was before Meg and Mort got there. So they got there, and then we looked around a little bit. We decided to have some food. It was hot out, but we needed some food. So they have basically a food truck thing. It was nicer in the food. I think was better in San Diego. More choices and kind of just easier to deal with inside. But they had all these different food trucks, and there were some good. They had a pizza. They had like a barbecue, and they had some kind of pierogi stand and some kind of Mexican food, I think. But we went to the barbecue, and I had like a barbecue chicken sandwich, which was good but kind of messy. And Mort had the brisket, and I think Meg just had the fries, but she had some food. So we went in there, and we were just hanging around. But the thing the only thing we wanted to do that I had was at 3 p.m. I wanted to. I had signed up for. Hold on a second. I had signed up for. By the way, I mentioned meeting Gingerbread before that. This is the picture of me and Ginger. 2 pictures of me and Ginger. So this is what we looked at. This is in the Loot Cave. She's very nice. What we found out was that Amaranth was doing another meet and greet. Like I thought Amaranth wasn't going to get to be able to do Amaranth meet and greet because she was doing her meet and greet on Saturday. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm going on Sunday. So I'm not going to be able to do Amaranth's meet and greet. And so I saw Amaranth with stream because I had my iPad and I was watching Twitch and I got a notification. Oh, Amaranth is streaming. I'm like, oh, maybe she's wandering around the convention because she had been doing that the first couple of days. And you could just walk up to her and she would take a photo with you. She was stopping every 2 seconds. She was not getting very far at the convention. She's very generous with her time. But then I was trying to track her down in the convention by seeing where she was. But then I saw, she's doing another meet and greet. And she was doing it right here. You can see in this picture here. You can't really see, but where this wall is here on the left, she's doing a meet and greet. And I thought, well, maybe, I don't know if it's reserved, and there wasn't even that big of a line. But I was like, do you guys want to see if we can get in the meet and greet for Amaranth? And of course they did. Of course. Hell yeah. Shit, yeah. So in fact, we were like, we went back and there was plenty of room in the line. She was going to be there for hours longer. She would have taken anybody. She was a very hardworking person. But you see this, there's 2 signs behind. One says Amaranth, the other says you can step on me or something like that. And of course I would have, even without the sign, I would have had her step on me. So that's Amaranth with her boot on my back. I got 2 pictures of that. Oh, well, that's me. That's me with Todd Rundgren. Hold on. But do I have any other pictures that are any good? Hold on. I'm trying to see here. These pictures did not turn out. I don't know why this one and that one. They're just I did not have my flash open. So yeah, that was before I saw Ginger. I just saw she was setting up for her thing before she was taking people. She said, "I will step on you." But she was really nice. I did say hi to her, and she was super nice, super sweet, super nice girl, absolutely adorable. So, but that was a great shot. You know, I got a shot of me getting stepped on by ammo, which is a great thing. And then the actual event happened. Now I have to kind of cue this up. So I was like, well, you know, I really like Nicole, and she's been tweeting out that people should come to her meet and greet at 3 p.m. At Sunday at the convention. I'm like, I'll bring Maud and Meg with me. And yeah, well, thank you so much, Scott. I really appreciate that. And so she and, you know, the three of us went to her meet and greet, and, you know, she didn't have that many people there. Even compared to Ariel, there was like 10 lines or like eight lanes there. And she only had a few people there. And I don't understand why, because of all those other people, she was the only one I thought was kind of interesting to talk to, but I've been following her for quite a few years now. I have a story to tell about this that I had already told Megan Mord, which is that previously to this, just a few weeks previously to me, I had gotten a message from the Nicole T after I had commented on something that she had posted on her Twitter. And for some reason, I honestly thought I wasn't sure, but I had a good chance for some reason that I thought it was the real Nicole T. Now, why is kind of a long story. And if you want to hear that story, Nicole T is going to interview me tomorrow in the afternoon, and I'm going to tell that story tomorrow on Nicole's stream. So I don't want to tell it too many times. It has to do with specifically what she posted in the Twitter and how I replied to it. And I thought it was a conversation starter, and I kind of expected that she would kind of reply to me. So I wasn't surprised when somebody did. And I didn't even bother to look at the account to see if it was verified or account or not. You know what I mean? And normally I have pretty good judgment about this thing, but because of the circumstance, yeah, I'll try to let you know when it is, or, you know, it is. But yeah, we're arranging it today, and she'll let me know tomorrow. I don't know exactly when it's going to be, but it's going to be tomorrow, and I'm going to guest star on her stream. And we're going to talk about, I'll tell her, we'll talk about that. Hopefully we'll talk about that. So I had brought with me my iPad, and I'd opened up in Twitter. This was in Twitter, or X or whatever you would call it. And I had opened the conversation pen that I'd had with her, or, you know, with Nicole. And, you know, she asked me some questions, and I had answered her some questions. I'd asked her some questions, and her answers were a little strange, but not too strange. And I was starting to get more suspicious, because initially I was quite sure it was her because of the timing, of how it occurred. And later, as I say, once I did a little more interaction, I was like, you know, and then it was like a couple weeks before there was no more interaction, and I was like, well, maybe she's, you know, it was the real her, but she's getting busy for TwitchCon, and I'm just going to ask her, you know, I'm going to see her in person. I'm just going to ask her what could happen, what could possibly happen, you know, what could go wrong, you know. So let's see if I can find this. Hold on one second, because I believe we have this. So she was streaming at the time, which, you know, I knew. I was just having a good time. I don't give a shit about anything, you know. Hold on a second. Is this the right? Hold on. No, that's Edge. Or was it here? Yeah, all right. Hold on. So, it ended up being like this. Twitch streamer's fan mortified after she reveals she's been catfished by a fake account. There's the picture. And this shows me with this particular expression. That's Nicole, of course, lovely Nicole in a little black dress. And you'll see Mord and Meg in the background, because they had already met her, and I was the third, and then there was a few people gathered to meet her too. So a Twitch viewer attending Nicole's T's meet and treat was left mortified after learning the account he'd speaking to on X wasn't actually her. Okay, now we're going to do this.
How are you doing? Can I meet you? It's so nice to finally meet you. My name is Ken Stein. Ring your bell.
She pretends to know my name.
Here on Twitter. And you know when I get a little paranoid that maybe it's not the real you.
So the first thing I was like,
but I think this is the real you.
I think this is you.
Hold on, let's click on the
He's like,
account.
right away, she's like, well, just look at the fucking account.
No, that is not.
What? So I
Well,
did
didn't
this.
say anything
Come
about
on,
it.
I'm not that outraged or anything like that.
But thank you for letting me know.
I wish this were higher resolution,
I
but it is
honestly
what
thought
it
it
is.
was it wasn't.
Okay. No, that is not. As his mouth gasped wide in disbelief. Luckily, the man claimed he didn't say anything too bad while talking with the catfish, but the VOD has since been deleted, and it's unclear how the rest of their in-person chat went. That's a strange thing to write there because that was their whole chat. That's all we did. I didn't know. I didn't want to take more time. Unfortunately, fake accounts are expected to only get worse with advancements in AI technology. In an interview with Dexerto, Catfish's Nev Schulman warned that deepfakes will allow nefarious users to, quote, create a human being, unquote. So, but this story ended up being like the fourth biggest story of TwitchCon, and in fact, we looked at the Dexerto's Twitter feed, and it had 4.4 million views. I think that's the final count, because it hasn't been going up. But it's really crazy. And Nicole posted this, so I mean, she was like really happy for this exposure. She's really happy. It's a big thing, and it is good for her. Let's just say it's good for her streams. And she's getting some good numbers. So, and I'm super happy for her for that. And everybody's like, there's this whole thing. Well, here, let me see if I can find it in X here. Hold on a second. Hold on, let me just find this real quick. Hold on. While I do this, okay, hold on a second. Notifications. So yeah. So this is on X. And this is Mrs. Morbury posted this, and this is the Dexerto post. Dexerto fans find out at TwitchCon they've been talking to a fake streamer account. October 23rd, 3 days ago, 4.4 million views, and the video has 284,000 plays. So, and then there's all these people down here when you send trying to meme this. Somebody compares me to Chevy Chase, which I find kind of interesting and not too unflattering, so I like that. Somebody just did the face, rethinking life. Okay, I like that. Here's another person who has a full interaction. Okay, that's the same. I bet that conversation was nasty. They both seem pretty chill about it. Oh, I gotta like that one. Here, people are trying to scam you all the time. Holy hell, I need this story. Why am I not surprised with the Joker? Somebody else posted my picture, I think. There we go. Just my picture. Oh, Danny DeVito. This guy looking Danny DeVito. I got a couple of those in Nicole's and Ginger's stream because I sent her those pictures. And here's another guy with Danny DeVito. So I like that, right? I don't know what the dog's about. But a lot of replies. Because Dexerto's Twitter feed is not like your and my Twitter feed, right? Anyway, let me put it that way. So yeah, that turned out to kind of go viral. Oh, it was on Livestream Fails too, first, in fact. And that was, I was like, oh, we're on Livestream Fails. And Bella was jealous and Mord was jealous. I'm like, yeah, you should be, man. Not everybody just gets on Livestream Fails like that, you know? And then it was picked up by Dexerto, and it got really big. And Fatal saw it. A bunch of people saw it. Yeah, a bunch of people have seen it. And, we're like, ooh, I don't know if I want to mention that I saw it, which of course you should. I don't take myself seriously, and especially when you look at the whole interaction. I was having a good time. I was really excited to meet Nicole. She is a super sweetie. So I sent. I've been, and then of course she followed. The real Nicole followed me back on Twitter, so she follows me now, and I think it's funny, and I think so does she. So I mentioned to her, I have a stream set up. She could guest star me. This was yesterday, and she's like, "Yeah, let's do this." So if things work out, I'm going to guest star, and we'll tell the story about this interaction tomorrow, and I'll tell the story of exactly what she posted on Twitter, what I replied to, and why I felt that we were going to have a long conversation after that. You know what I mean? Which I'm not going to mention this stream. I just want to leave that to be a little bit of a surprise, or it's not a surprise. It's just just a detail that I would rather share with her first. I think. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how that goes. Oh, suspended. Jeez. I don't see me getting suspended. Although yes, the one thing about the clip is that I say my name and I show my card. So it's not like I can be anonymous. And the other thing is I'm kind of glad about that. If somebody wanted to track me down or something and say, hey, how do you feel being catfished publicly, like that, they could find me. I'm Kench999 on Twitter too. I'm Kench999 on everything. All you need to know is Kench999. You could probably get in touch with me, if you're nice about it and you ask me a question and you have some credentials. Uh, so I'll probably be there. Um, but nobody has. So which is fine. It is what it is. But that turned out to be a big story. That interaction that we had. I was just so tickled that happened. So that informs you, if you remember, my expressions. So you see that picture there, and right, and then we have my expression here. Right, you get it? Hold on. So that's my permanent photographic expression in the future. I'm wearing the same glasses. Although these were different days. This was Sunday. This was Monday. So I didn't know anything was going on Sunday night. By Monday morning, I was starting to hear that we were live feed frails and we got picked up by Dick Cerdo. So by Monday afternoon, I was doing this. I'm like, yeah, that's my face. So unless you really kind of get that story first, you might not understand why I was making this face. But you can see how close it is. I mean, it's easy. I was like, it's not a very hard expression to make. Oh, like this is a little movie. It's a tiny movie version of Ammo standing on Mord's back. By the way, I don't know. I can't really process that exactly, unfortunately. I wasn't trying to make movies, but this little camera I have has a tiny switch on the back that toggles it between video recorder and film recorder mode, and I not inadvertently toggled that switch, which is tiny, and was videoing things. I'm like, why won't it just take pictures? I finally figured it out after almost. We were no more with Ammo. Oh, so that was it. So Tuesday morning I left, and but Monday we got a lot of the stuff in. We had a nice dinner. Good. Yeah. I'm sure you guys have more media too, because you guys took a lot of pictures. I'm looking forward to seeing your media as well when you guys get a chance to upload everything for sure. That'll be out in a few days. So overall, man, the convention was great. It was so much more fun than the convention I went to in San Diego a year ago, but mainly because I know more people now, and I had more plans. And Vegas has more stuff to do, even if you're by yourself. And obviously, there's always something to do if there's something you want to do at any time of day or night. It's really amazing. San Diego is great, but I mean, it's not quite. It's more of a great place to live than a great place to just be a tourist. I mean, you can't beat it. I would think, Anaheim, Disneyland, things like that. There's a lot of stuff to do around there too. We'll have to see. I wouldn't surprise me if they moved the convention to Anaheim. They were. By the way, I was watching Dan Clancy, the CEO stream, because everybody's talking about, is it going to be in Vegas next year? Is it going to be Miami next year? And he said, I think they know where it's going to. First of all, he sounds like they know where it's going to be next year. Oh yeah, I want to go back to Vegas no matter where the convention is. But he said this yesterday on his stream. He says they want to make the convention economically sustainable, and it's too expensive to move it to a different city every year. That there's extra costs associated with that. And I've heard him talk about that before, because these conventions are not necessarily money makers, but they have a good positive feeling. They make the community want to watch the show, right? Come to the site more than they did. There's a lot of people who's like, well, I came to TwitchCon and it really made me want to stream more, which I guess is the kind of the goal. It's not just to make money, it's to build the community. So they're willing to lose some money, but I think they actually lose a lot of money in the convention, and a lot of it is having to fly a lot of people to where that place is. I honestly think it's going to be in California somewhere. So, what he said was, he didn't say that. He just says, I know, he kind of implied he knows where it is. He said, I'm not going to say it, but we're not going to move the convention to different cities after this. He says, the next place it's going to be forever, whatever that means. And when I think of a forever convention, and if it's not Las Vegas, it's going to be San Diego, Los Angeles, or Anaheim. Maybe San Francisco, but I highly doubt it. San Francisco, they do have a lot of people working there, and it may not actually be cheaper. But my guess is it's going to be either San Diego, Anaheim, or Los Angeles. Those are three separate regions. Anaheim and Los Angeles are different convention centers. Obviously, San Diego's too, and San Francisco has a massive convention center, but I just don't think I don't see them coming to San Francisco. But where he says, I don't know if this is true, but he says whatever it is going to be next is going to be where it's going to be. And then they'll just be able to kind of reuse the convention plans every year rather than having to redesign the convention. I think so. I think West Coast. He said something about it the fact that the convention is not in the Bay Area makes it expensive. It adds a cost or something like that. Because he's based in the Bay Area, or they have a lot of employees based in the Bay Area. Well, the only employee I met an employee on Sunday who was in line for the coffee shop. She was a merchandise designer. She was really, really nice, and she was from New York. And I don't know, I guess why would they? I didn't get to ask her why they flew out here to Las Vegas from New York. She probably is a good employee or something like that. But then they kind of give it as gift, so in a ways. Because I don't think she was working. You know what I mean? So sometimes these conventions are kind of they get expensive if you start sending a lot of employees. Okay, go to the bath. Well, thank you for coming by. It's really great to see you. I really missed you already. I miss you a lot more. So, but again, it's great to see you. I just want to be able to get as many of these stories as I can. I'm trying to think of what else I did. I had my guitar. I played my guitar a bunch. I hung out with Charles. Charles we went to the store, and because Charles wanted to make fettuccine Alfredo at the house, which he did, and it was really good. He made this really good chicken fettuccine Alfredo and fed all 8 of us, when we were, that's one of the reasons why we didn't get too wasted is we had food there, because he made all this huge amount of food. And of course, it was this random kitchen at an Airbnb. And the pool was great. Swimming around in the pool, that was great. Oh, we had the Jenga. I bought a giant Jenga, or an extra large Jenga set, and Mord and Meg played a Jenga, and I think Siobhan won that one. But that was the only time we got a chance to play Jenga. But overall, I got to hang out and just have a little bit of one-on-one time with Bella, who I've been talking to on a daily basis, and we're very close, and we still are very close. And she's just a really important person to me, and I feel like I'm the same with her. And so, it's being able to do that, having some one-on-one time together, and just be able to hang out with her and see how real she is, and then I talked to her on the stream. I was telling her that we went. She only stayed Thursday, Friday, and left. Well, she stayed Friday, Saturday, and Sunday really, and left. She came late Thursday and left kind of early on Sunday. She was just like, ugh. She could have stayed, and then if she stayed on Monday, she could have come with us to the High Roller and seen the Sphere and got a fancy dinner and stuff like that. So she's like, well, next time she's gonna plan everything, and we're just gonna come and follow her around, and we're gonna do everything. So she's inspired, I think, to next time, to make a plan and to make sure we're all included in that. Well, all we have to do is hang out with her, and it's all gonna happen. So she's and before their trip to Vegas, she was like, this is gonna suck, but I think she really had a good time too. I'm talking about Bella here, of course. So what a nice time overall. Gosh, I can't believe I've been talking for almost an hour just about Vegas. It was a whole week. And the other thing I want to say is that I was expecting to spend a lot more money and, be able to I certainly wanted to be able to treat my friends, because I make money as a software engineer. I'm still employed, kind of technically I'm working, watching my email right here. And but I'm taking a break so I can hang out with you guys. But it was nice to be able to take Megan Ward out to the Eye and the Sphere and the show there, and have them take us to a nice dinner and things like that. And still, I didn't spend that much money because I had bought this Airbnb for the week in advance 6 months ago, so that was kind of paid off. And all I really had was food, and I didn't really go out and spend too much food. I didn't do anything that was wildly expensive. Thank you very much. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, it was a great time. I mean, all I can say is that anybody who has the opportunity to come to TwitchCon because you want to meet, you just want to have a good time, you want to meet streamers, come on out. You should come out. I mean, it's worth kind of planning for the year. That's the thing you'll do that year. And I this is the second year I've done it. I definitely will be doing it a third year, if it's at all possible. And so and it's likely. So this year last year I took 5 days. This year I took a week. I might even take longer depending on where it is, just so I have plenty of time to relax and do things that I really want to do. There was so much I didn't get to do in Vegas. I didn't get to go to a piano lounge, even though I saw quite a few advertised. There was one even across from the convention center, and I kind of regret not going in there. And I didn't get to do Area 15, which is a whole day of activities involving Omega Mart, but there's a lot more than that apparently. And I didn't even, I was really wanted to go there, but I didn't want to pack too much stuff in because it was my vacation. I felt like I was busy, and I also had to look forward to, on Tuesday it actually ended up being like a 7 hour drive back from Vegas. It's an 8 hour drive, but I did it in 7 hours because don't ask how. But I didn't get a ticket, and I don't think I ran anyone off the road. So it's all good, and the car is fine. My car is great, so I mean it's covered with bugs, but man, it gets you there. It gets you there high speed, and reasonably efficiently too. I didn't use too much gas because it's a 4-cylinder turbo. I get pretty good gas mileage, and so I met some new friends. True Love and her husband Taz, excuse me, and being able to meet Charles in person, Grim in person. Everyone seemed so nice and friendly. I mean, I was so really nice and friendly. And of course, hanging out with Meg and Siobhan, and just seeing them and being able to enjoy this really wild, crazy place called Las Vegas. That's just nuts. Hold on a second here. Oh, but and then I came back and I said they didn't say yet. I was talking, as I said, I was listening to the CEO. Everybody's talking about everybody's saying different things. Oh, it should be in Vegas again because there's so much to do. Oh, it should be on Miami because it's never on the East Coast, and Miami is a great place to be, for conventions. And the other people are like, oh well, it's never really been on the East Coast. I was listening to the CEO, Dan Clancy, kind of the new CEO, and he was saying that he said this on his stream yesterday because people asked him, are they going to move the convention? And he said, what he said was, I know, it kind of implied, first of all, I know where the convention is going to be next year, but I'm not going to say. We don't say, I'm not going to say until someone else announces it. It's unsustainable financially to move the convention every single year. So the next time we have the convention, it's going to be there forever. That's what he said. Or, we're not going to move it after that. That'll be it. No moving. And I could see that. We're talking about, these conventions are expensive, and traveling. It's a lot of travel costs of your employees, and then hiring people at whatever location is, and mostly you have to replan everything for a new convention site, and yeah, ongoing relationships with that convention, and you can just reuse the plans you used last year, just repainted things, or what I mean. There's huge savings you get if you have a convention at one place over and over again. You can do a lot of storage of stuff and then just reusing it. That you can't do. You have to start from scratch when you move conventions every year. So that's what he said. So my guess is it will be on the West Coast, and if it's going to be on the West Coast, it really could only be San Diego, Anaheim, Los Angeles, and possibly San Francisco. But I don't think San Francisco is very likely. So I'd love it if it was San Francisco for the rest of my life, because I'm a 50-minute BART ride from the San Francisco Convention Center. So that'd be a lot more convenient. And but I don't think San Francisco. But it's still more convenient for me to get to LA or Anaheim than it is to San Diego or Vegas by quite a bit. And they're both good, fun, quite nice destinations, I think. So we'll have to see, but that's my guess. It's going to be one of those 3 cities, and then it'll be that forever, or what? At least as long as Dan Clancy's around. He's new. He's not really, he hasn't been around forever. I don't really know how much he actually gets to call policy like that. But he sounded very confident in his answer. He just wouldn't say what city it was. All he said was confidently, the next time we pick a city, it's going to be there forever. So we'll probably know sooner rather than later. We'll probably know in like March or April where it's going to be, because they'll probably want to start getting that into people's heads. Yeah, I mean, I was worried about all the things that could go wrong, and nothing went wrong. The car was fine, and I felt fine most of the time, all the time, and was able to do a lot of walking. We walked all up and down the Bellagio. We saw the fountains at the Bellagio. Not enough of them. A few minutes of fountains. They're quite explosive, as it were, when you're up close. It's pretty amazing. From the distance, you can't really tell, but it almost sounds like guns going, or cannons going off when these fires. Because I think they are cannons. I mean, the only way to get those, they use air cannon technology to get the fountains to go really tall, and you can hear them. They explode. I didn't know that. It's pretty wild. and just getting to hang out with some great people. And yeah, as I say, it could have been more fun. It could have been more fun for me. And if it had been more fun for me, I probably would have been paying for it on a day that I didn't want to have to pay for it. That I wanted to actually be out doing some things. But again, we didn't do everything. I didn't get to get Area 51, but absolutely going on the high roller, and seeing the inside of the sphere and the outside of the sphere, and kind of just feeling like, oh yeah, we're doing the stuff. And a lot of it's just walking around and just seeing stuff that you'd be amazed to see. I mean, I'd never been inside the Venetian, and people describe it, but yeah, it's supposed to be basically it's an inside recreation of Venice, of an outside place, and they have gondolas and rivers, and it's really, really like a maze. You don't never know which direction you're walking, so you kind of walking in circles, but you can't see. It's much bigger than it looks, and so it seems even bigger than that. And there's just so much to see, and like we saw the robot bar, and then the next day some people were getting drinks on the stream. They were getting drinks at the robot bar, and we were like pretty happy, like we had seen people doing that. So I'm actually gonna just leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna play some music today. Tomorrow I will hopefully play some music and/or Flight Simulator. Today, because it's a short week and I just got back, I am gonna go back to work and try to get some things done. I have some stuff I have to deliver on Tuesday that I'm just getting started on, but it's fun stuff, so that's always good. I'm not complaining. And I will be getting back into my regular daily streaming schedule, and certainly streaming over the week. And it will be the regular stuff where I will mainly play Microsoft Flight Simulator, and then play either guitar or my piano, and open up Ken's Piano Lounge just to keep it consistent. So this is one of my few just chatting streams, and basically just wanted to dump the great time that I had. Talk a little bit about this Dexerto thing going. Oh, good. Yeah, no, it's me too. Me too. I miss it. I tried it earlier just to make sure I didn't need to update it, and it still ran. It seems to be doing okay. So that's the same. So yeah, we'll start that up again tomorrow in the afternoon, and then every afternoon after that, hopefully we'll be doing more of the formula. Again, I will send out a tweet tomorrow if and when I find out when I'm supposed to guest star on Nicole's stream, where we will be doing a full interview. She'll talk to me about the event, and I'll tell her a little bit about what led up to it. And maybe we even, yeah, well, we can't do that, but I was gonna say we could recount the conversation I had with the catfish, but I don't actually have it. I can kind of by memory say what we were talking about a little bit, but I did block that person, so I don't have that conversation anymore, which is good. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we've been on for an hour or so. I think we'll call it here today. Get it short, but I'm just trying to get back into things and making sure my technology is still working. So, to some extent, I was more famous than I was, and just for the 1 week, probably the 1 week period. You know what I mean? And then I'll go back to, but yeah, no, relative. I mean, it's, as I say, it wasn't our intention to go and become viral, but it did. It went viral, 4.4 million views, and 270,000. What is it now? Let me see. And 284,000 views of the video. Yeah, really true. Thanks. Yeah, I wasn't like, oh, I know this is you, right? You know what I mean? I was like, is this you? So come on. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. I'd walked up. I told the story right to Megan Moore right before thing. I said, look, I'm about 85% sure it's actually her, which is, odd, which I'm glad I didn't say on the video, because that sounds kind of crazy now that I think about it. I should have been. It's a 15% chance if it was Nicole, 85% chance it's not. But if I felt that way, I wouldn't have pointed out to her. I would just said, look, or I would have said, look, see, there's somebody catfishing in your name, which you wouldn't care about. It worked out much better than I really thought it was her. So, but yeah, this story was here. Let me show. Let's see if it still is. I want to see what this is here. Hold on a second. Hold on. It's probably not number 4 anymore, but let's just see. Hold on. Yeah. Well, here you can see yourself. News from TwitchCon. Chess.com takes over TwitchCon, streaming platform TikTok on Twitch, creating a virtual avatar simpler now with this tech. CEO Twitch reveals why Aiden Ross was kicked out of TwitchCon. Blah blah blah. Better last year, everyone hated Vegas. And then Twitch streamers fan mortified after she reveals he's been catfished by TikTok. That's me right there. So I'm down to the, let's see, I'm the 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the president. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm the 8th story, but I'm above Mizkif and SQC, so screw them. XQC was given rooms in 7 hotels for TwitchCon Las Vegas. So 7 hotels were bidding to have him stay there. That's wild. But it's a big story out of Twitch, and for that, and Nicole understands that these things these things burn relatively quickly. So we're going to talk about it tomorrow. It's good. It's really, because it has her name right there, Nicole Tees. She has been getting good numbers on her stream since returned, and she's very happy about that. It's a money thing for her. But she's also super sweet, and she gets it. She's not an idiot. At all. She's quite smart, actually. I'm comparing her to some of the other e-girls. She really is, and so she gets it. And so yeah, we might have an interview tomorrow on her stream, and we'll talk about it. And who knows where it will go. But yeah, it already started becoming a meme. That's pretty wild. Okay, everybody, I really do have to go get back to work, but it's been a fun stream. And I do plan on continuing daily streamings of the typical kind. As always, feel free to ask questions. Why can't you see my thingy there? There you go. Feel free to ask questions. And what I say, Drew, everyone, science, everyone else, have a great rest of your day. What is it? Thursday? Yeah. It's almost the weekend. Yay! Okay. Boy, boy, when you see yourself on the various videos that I've been on, because I was on these YouTube videos, everybody's reaction is, wow, I'm so cringe. You know what I mean? We're so suave and smooth inside, and then when we see a reflection of ourselves in that way, we're just like, we're so awkward and giddy and loud, But it's fun. It's then you're just like, sure, what the fuck, why not? It's fine. I don't care. Oh, okay, got it.